what's up? This is Cece from Black Veil Brides. You're watching Rock Forever magazine.
Hey guys, it's Tori from Rock Forever magazine, and I'm here today with Cece from Black Veil Brides.
How's it going?
How are you doing today, sir?
Doing great, thanks. How about yourself?
Good. Very good. We're in St. Pete, and you're on the Church of the Wild Ones tour right now. How has that been going for you so far?
It's been amazing. You know, our new album just came out, and so we started just a few days prior to the album release, and it's been great. Like packed houses everywhere.
Yes, I can see the line is literally around the block right now, which is amazing. So congrats on that. It's going to be a good show.
Thank you.
And now the full-length movie Legion of the Black is out now, and it tells the story of fear in the wild ones, just like the album. So would you say, although it is a fictional story, does it relate to you or the band members' lives in any way?
I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand with, you know, our whole message and everything, and, you know, it's just about a story about a girl, obviously, but I wouldn't say, you know, it's 100% literal, you know, to like our lives. You know, none of us have been locked up or anything like that, but
locked up by fear. It's everyday life.
Yeah, it happens. You know, we're always fighting those shadow characters and stuff, but no, you know, it kind of just goes hand in hand, and it was really interesting to you know, to have the concept, you know, beforehand and write the record, and while making the record, you know, both like lyrical content and song placement on the album went with the music, you know, or with the movie, I should say, Legion of the Black. And so it was really interesting to be making the album and the whole time having that vision for the film, and then kind of, you know, arranging it around that, or, you know, kind of getting them to, you know, to be a cohesive unit. But it was cool. It was challenging and fun.
Exactly. And now I was watching it on your Facebook page. I watched it a couple times, not gonna lie. But on the fan chat on the side of the screen, I was taking a look at what all the fans wanted to see as far as questions go, and a lot of people were curious if there's gonna be a sequel to Legion of the Black. Is that something you'd like to do in the future?
Who knows? We'll see how it goes. You know, can't reveal that information right now. That's classified.
So you're thinking about it.
I'm not even going to say that we're thinking about it. I know. I mean, you know, right now we're seriously just stoked about doing this right now. You know, we just released, you know, the Legion of the Black and the album, and so, you know, we're all excited to be touring the States in a while. We haven't toured in a while, so to be back in the States touring, you know, we're all super excited. You know, morale's great with the band and everything. And so if we're going to jump right back into filming, it's not going to happen, you know, right away. I don't know if it's even going to happen in the future. We'll see how it goes.
Well, okay, let's assume that there will be a sequel, just for fun. So what would you want to happen in the sequel to all of the characters?
I want bigger action sequences with that.
Wait, you had the best action scene of the whole movie, though. You just like punched the ground and everything was up from there. So
yeah, it's cool to see what they did, you know, in post-production with all the effects and stuff, you know, like while we're shooting it. You never really know how it's going to come out. Like you could see it on the screen, and, you know, the cast, the director, you know, our art guy, Richard Villa, was amazing. You know, our director, Patrick Fogarty, everybody, you know, on board with the movie was great, and, you know, everybody was awesome and amazing to work with. But yeah, seeing like after, you know, shooting it and then seeing like rough cuts and stuff, that's one thing, but then seeing like the effects and everything after is really cool.
Now we have a fan question here from Tyler. He wants to know, why did you decide to use character names in the movie, and how did you come up with each of them?
You know, we've all had the thing, you know, like the deviant, the mystic and everything, and we were all thinking about what it's going to be. I don't know how I ended up with the Destroyer. Maybe because I'm just like
well, I mean, you pretty much destroyed everything in that movie, though.
Yeah. But I mean, those were came out before the movie. Actually, we've had those for a while now. But then, you know, we just used them in the movie. You know, it kind of just went hand in hand. But we've had those before the movie. Those names were created before the movie, so it's not like those names, you know, we're like, oh, we need to find some names, and, you know, it goes a little bit more in depth to that. You know, Andy knows a little bit more about that, but you know, everybody's character, obviously, it kind of has some kind of, you know, again.
The Destroyer over here.
Yeah,
he's hitting my microphone.
Maybe that's why I did get the name. I never really noticed, but yeah, but we kind of have our own personalities into the names, and we all kind of fit into those roles, and so that's why we were assigned those.
And what about FEAR, the acronym? How did that come about?
You know, that's another Andy question. Andy had the majority.
Where's Andy when you need him?
Yeah, I know. He did the majority of the writing, you know, along with Patrick and Richard. Like I said, our director and art guy. You know, we have a bunch of other people that they're working with. But he had this whole thing out, you know, in pages and pages and pages. It took him a really long time to create all these things. You know, the end result is just, you know, you can't let fear control you, whatever your fear may be. And so, you know, it's an acronym. You guys can figure it out, but, you know, the underlying message is, you know, it's always going to be a battle, whether, you fear, you have stage fright, or, you fear about being a success, or, if you're homosexual, coming out, that's very fearful for a lot of people, because, they'll feel like they'll be persecuted by the public or anything. But, the whole message, like you see it in the movie, is to fight back and be you, and just to be true to what you really are. So
yeah, and it's clear that you guys put a lot of thought into this album with the whole concept. What would you say was the biggest challenge you faced in trying to convey this story through all of the songs?
The whole recording process was a lot different than we're used to. We went into the studio with John Feldman, which is a producer we've worked with, briefly in the past. But, doing a whole record with an actual producer, like our last producer on our last album kind of just let us do whatever we wanted. John had a lot to do with, like programming and song arrangements and writing and stuff. And so to get into the studio and out of our, our comfort zone was interesting, to see it. It wasn't always the smoothest ride, and we definitely had, a couple arguments and this needs to go here, and but I think that it came out for the best, and, we just wanted to put out a record that wanted to take it to the next level, and so.
Oh, yeah. I was actually thinking before the album came out, I'm like, Set the World on Fire was just so good. How could you possibly top it? But you guys definally did that.
Well, yeah, there were, like I said, it was a challenge, and especially putting it in a specific order, and then having, like the fear transmissions in between songs, we were like, well, how's that going to work? And just having it thought out, and just trucking along. We had so many songs to work with in the beginning, and then we just kind of kept going. We had a marker board full of songs, I don't even know how many, like over 30.
Wow.
And so narrowing it down was interesting, and then coming up with lyrical content that actually go along with the storylines was challenging enough. I don't really write the lyrics, but seeing the dudes write some of the stuff was interesting. But as far as like music and stuff, the whole thing was challenging. But it, we're all happy with what came out.
Yes.
The end product is cool, so we're stoked.
I'm happy with it too. Safe to say.
Great.
And now we have another fan question here from Lydia, and she wants to know, what song on the album are you the most proud of?
Oh man, I'm gonna get a lot of heat for this.
Ooh.
But my favorite part of the record is actually the overture that Jinx did.
Oh no, that's beautiful. I completely agree.
To me, that's something that isn't done. All the other songs, they're songs that I love. They're songs I'm kind of, that's okay, But I think anybody, that's really strong, creatively, that wants to do it, they're whatever. But when I heard the album from start to finish, what really stuck out was Jinx's part in the overture, and it was done so well, and he did it. He stayed up for I think like 7 days straight, just being weird and doing strings and stuff. And he would come to the studio like, oh dude, I haven't slept in like 3 days, and he looked like a zombie. But he definitely put a lot of hard work into it, and to me, it's just something that. A lot of people classify the band, we always laugh about this ever since day one, as being like screamo, emo, no one really knows where to classify us, whether it's scene or not. But to see Jinx do a whole orchestrated part, and it's all him, and it's all the hooks, from the previous half or the first half of the record, all like the hook lines and stuff. To me, it was he did a remarkable job on it, and like that's my favorite part of the CD. Me personally, I mean, there's other songs, musically that I would be proud of, but I mean, as far as overall, the part to me that sticks out the most would be the overture.
Yeah. And I thought it was great that there were also other violin elements throughout the album, and the fear transmissions and other songs. So it was great that Jinx was able to play violin.
Yeah, I would like for him to do a lot more of that stuff, and he had the ability to on this record, which was stoked. He brought in a cello and like all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah, he was like going for it.
One-man orchestra.
Yeah, we even do like he plays some violin on our live set now, and so it's really cool to see that. I would like for him to actually incorporate a little bit more, to that during the live show, but there's logistics with him being the second guitarist and things that we're trying to work out. But I love it, just having something out of the ordinary to me. I mean, like, look at us, from day one, we weren't, it didn't really fit the norm, but having something a little bit different to offer, people is what I appreciate. I'm just happy I could be in a band, like this. So
yes. And now In the End is your single right now, and it's about, your legacy and what you want to leave behind. So as a band, how do you want to be remembered?
Yeah, as a band, we want to put our stamp for everyone. We're here for the people. We definitely do things, to promote inner strength and, confidence and, all different types of things. But as a band, we don't want to be complacent, so I don't think that we've topped out yet, I don't think any of us think that, and so we're still trying to push the envelope further and, get to where we want to be, but I don't think this band will ever be complacent, even, if, we're on top of the world, we have a platinum record or whatever, it's like, we still want to go more, we want to tour the moon. Tour
the moon, you'll have a great audience over there.
Yeah, right. Well, it'll probably be just one show, but still, we'll say we played on the moon, but, whatever, it's, as a band, there's those bands that stick out, we're definitely trying to make our niche, and we're just being us, we're not trying to do something that's untrue or false or, or, anything that's fabricated. Like, since day one, everyone's been real and everybody, just does our thing. I think, if you're true to yourself, then, progression will naturally come as long as you work, so long as you work hard at it. But, as a band, I mean, who knows? I don't even want to make that decision yet. Who knows where it could take us, because I don't want to set the bar low. And so, all of us are very driven and we work really hard, and so it's cool.
Yep,
so
sky's the limit.
Yeah, we'll see. The moon's the limit.
The moon's the limit.
This thing, I keep touching this thing. I want it on my face.
Well, that's the first for our interview. And now, something that's a big part of your band are, the makeup and the appearance. And something I've noticed throughout every album, it seems that your appearance changes a little bit, and you've toned down the makeup a lot. Mm-hmm. How come you decided to do that?
Well, it's just every album cycle is something a little bit different. So, we have a lot of, like, I would say less studs, and, it's just it's just a different look. I know a lot of us, like, I am probably the most grateful for us toning down the makeup, because I was seriously painted from, like, my chin down to my waist. And
I always felt a little bit of pity for you.
Oh, man. I didn't mind doing it when I did, but now that I don't have to anymore, I'm stoked. I'm really grateful that we toned it down. But yeah, it's just, keeping things new and fresh, and, having a new look. You don't want to always go out there with the same product, and, like the character names that you were saying, that, it's just something a little bit more that fans could get into. And, we have the most diehard fans in the world, and we're, all of us are forever grateful for you guys. But yeah, something, that you could read about, and just keeping the people interested, trying to change it up a bit.
It's good that your image is new and different, and you're just changing it once in a while. And, some people who might not know the band very well come to their own conclusions without knowing. What would you say is the biggest misconception about Black Veil Brides?
The biggest misconception?
Getting some giggles here now.
Oh, man. I mean, what's to say? They're all of them. I mean, that's one of the things. One of the reasons why this band is so popular is because of the misconceptions, because, we're such a polarizing band. Either someone absolutely hates us or absolutely loves us. Like, it's very rare to see a fan that's, in the gray middle area, like, oh, I don't know. It's either like almost 100% right or 100% left. And so, a lot of the misconceptions, like, oh, they're Kiss, oh, they're Motley Crue, and now we're getting other bands, and it's just like, you guys don't even listen to the music, that's probably the most misconstrued thing about the band, is just like the way we look, and they don't ever, listen to the music, and they automatically, write us off, or whatever it is. That I would say that would be it, Yeah.
And now, you do have a lot of fans who absolutely adore you, though, and you call them the BVB Army, and they are just so passionate about the band and the music. Why do you think they feel such a close connection to you guys?
I mean, first of all 5 of us have different personalities, and so there's always somebody you can relate to. We have, like the fearless leader and Andy, the sexy one Ashley. They go, we have everything. We have artistic mortar, like all those things come into play. But I think it's just, finding something to relate to. I think that's why we have such a huge fan base. All of us, in the band haven't had, a perfect life and been fed with the silver spoon, and we've all gone through struggles, and it's, we express those struggles, and we're fortunate that people relate to that, we're really fortunate for that. But I think that has a lot to do with it, a lot of people, we get fan letters every single night, and it's like, you guys saved my life, I was like cutting, I was doing all this. And it's really weird, because we set out to, just do music and express ourselves, and then we became almost like superheroes now, and it's crazy. We definitely want to be that larger than life band, but, early on we started seeing that people really, really related to us, and, a lot of people in the world are misunderstood, and, they find themselves in our music, and have our songs, like, get them through the day or whatever it is. And I think that has a lot to do with it, it's just kind of providing that support group, even though we're a rock and roll band, through and through. but our message, kind of does, have that support group to where people could write, people make friends at our shows and are friends forever. They're writing each other and they're pen pals, from coast to coast, and they just met at a show and they relate. And so it's really cool to see that. And, I think a lot of bands today don't really have that. And, one of the things, like, the misconceptions about the band is, like, I think a lot of people wish that they had that, but, we're starting to see a lot of bands, dressing like us, the makeup that might have something to do with your question earlier.
Yeah.
Why we changed our look. But, some of the people that talked crap about us, beginning with all the makeup and stuff are starting to do it now. And it's just so funny to be like, like you guys.
Trendsetters.
Yeah, you guys get none of the heat that we got. And, it is what it is. But, a lot of envy occurs, with the band, and I think it has to do with the fans, because the fans are so, they relate to us so closely, and, there's so many bands that wish they had that, and, we feel very fortunate, but I think, it's just, it's great. You'll see it tonight at the show, it's just, that's why we called it the Church of the Wild Ones, this tour, because it's like, church is in session, a lot of people feel like we're a religion to them, and so it's cool to see, and this tour has definitely been a great time.
Yes. And now, what are your plans for after this tour and for the rest of 2013? What can fans look forward to from you guys?
We're touring all year. I mean, all year. We have, like, as far as I know, only about 3 weeks off in March, and then we go back out, we go to Europe, and then we have plans going all over the world, and so this year's going to be a very busy year for us. But we're all really excited. It was good to be at home for a while, record and do the movie and the album and stuff. But I think we started getting that touring itch, and we're like, oh, we're so ready to go back out, and it's really cool. Like, everyone's been really happy and super stoked to be out on tour, and we're doing meet and greets every show this tour, and so it's cool to get back, face value, get some face-to-face time with the fans, instead of being like, for me, stuck in a room with the window, you know what I mean? Like, nope, do it over, and I was like, oh man. But it's cool to actually, like, see everybody again and hang out with everybody every night. So
absolutely. Well, thank you so much for hanging out. It was great talking to you.
Pleasure.
And everybody watching, make sure you check out Black Veil Brides. Their album Wretched Divine is out now. Amazing album. And subscribe for more interviews. We'll see you next time. Bye.